Hi, Professor JP Alfred. Hi, good morning, everybody. And I'm in Japan, so today. So this is Naoko Iwasaki. I'm professor of the Institute of Digital Government at Waseda University. And thank you very much for your introduction to me. And I'd like to start my presentation. So, and first, thank you very much for inviting me. The very fruitful and wonderful conference, but I couldn't attend your conference by face-to-face today. And I hope your conference will be successfully finished. And I hope your the conference and I'm looking for very fruitful result and after this conference. Okay, so today's my topic is AI trend of digital government. Simply because was University ISC and released the digital government rankings for 20 years. So this year is a very memorial day for us and 20 years history of University International Digital Government Ranking surveys. So and Professor Hana JP Alfred has already introduced me, and my name is Naoko Iwasaki, and I'm a president of the International Academy of CIO Japan, and also Deputy Director and APEC and Digital Government and Research Centers. And also, I'm a project and overseers and APEC and a project on smart silver innovation. And from 2019, silver and means and the aging people. So, and I like to try to integrate the aging and digital and societies in the future under the APEC economies. And my research areas are the CIOs and digital government and the digital transformation for the aging and smart cities and business and continuity planning and so on. And now I'm a member of several Japanese government and committees. And for example, the committees under the prime ministers and the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications and the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry and the digital agencies and fire and disaster management agency and so on. And also I'm a member of the committees under the governors of Tokyo and the Chiba Prefecture and so on. And so the next slide, and this is just our activities and under the United Nations. So what's the universities and the Japanese government and hold and several and workshop at United Nations and headquarters in New York and from 2016. So we discussed about a lot of the topics and including the AI, also the aging issues and also like a new the emerging technologies for the new future and so on. And so, as I mentioned, this year, the memorial 20th anniversary was the university's World Digital Government Ranking. So, and we started this ranking and since 2005. So this research and analysis covers 66 digitally advanced countries and regions and evaluate the progress of digital government and which are essential to the people's life. And from the multiple angles and using 10 key indicators and outcomes contributing to the promotion of the digital society. And the aim of the surveys is to advance the state of digital practice and to identify and facilitate policies and for the best practice of the digital government development and to improve the quality of life and sustainable community development and the digital society in the long-term goals, and to learn the lessons and experience on the best practice of digital government. So today, I'd like to explain about not in details, but if possible, and please visit on our website, and we create our digital report of our digital government ranking, totally 300 pages. So these are the 10 benchmarks versus the digital government ranking surveys in 20 years. And network infrastructure preparedness and management optimization, online services, and national portal, government chief information officer, and digital government promotion, participation, open government data and digital transformation, and cybersecurity, and emerging technologies such as AI, 5G, and so on in digital government. And we started this government ranking in 2005, and we just not only the 10 indicators, so we adjust the new areas, and now we utilize the 10 indicators for the digital government ranking. So this is the highlight in 2025. So this year, the UK took the first place, and while maintaining its position as a science and technological powerhouse, the UK is developing digital policies that also take into consideration the inclusiveness and sustainability of society as a whole. And Denmark came in third last year, has risen to second place. And the third place is Singapore, which came in the first place last year, so dropping 2 places. And the fourth is Estonia, and the fifth South Korea, and the sixth Netherlands, and the seventh United States, and eighth Saudi Arabia, and ninth Japan, and 10th is Finland, and which made a huge leap from 17th place last year. And both Singapore and South Korea are putting AI to practice use in the policy proposals as citizen responses. And the recent trend is widening a gap in the progress of digitalization between countries surveyed. So there is a difference of around 40 points between the top and the bottom countries. So we analyze totally 66 countries. So revealing the differences in the progress between each country. So furthermore, the rapid progress of 11 non-Europe and US region countries of the top 25 is remarkable. So we released as a report of the totally 25 at the top of the digital government ranking. So, we explain about those top countries in details in our report. The next slide is the history of digital government tech development with WASED rankings, and from 2005. At the first, we started this ranking in 2005, and every government used the internet, and also lack of digital infrastructure, and portable PCs, and main activities and creating the homepage and network and so on. And they, all of them, sold highly the strategy of the ICT manpowers. And every country focused on the shortage of the IT manpowers. In 2012, every government tried to create a CIO framework, and also focus on the one-stop service, international competitions, and digital divide. Not only the developed countries, but also the developing countries as well. And open government and rise of small population countries like, for example, the Estonia, Denmark, and Singapore, and so on. And 2017, and the broadband and citizen-centric and SNS. And this means the beginning, from the beginning of the 2010s, and everybody used SNS. So the citizen to the government, and also the government provides information or data to other citizens. So SNS is just a key for the digital government. And some of the government try to use a blockchain. And after 2020s and COVID-19s, every government suffered from the COVID-19s, and after that, and almost in 2023s, the government tried to focus on the digital transformation and cloud computing. And nowadays, after the 2024, and the cyber threat and e-government to the digital government, and focusing on the digital transformation and SDGs goals, and at least almost 4 years towards the target of the SDGs goals and 2030s. And tech for the disasters. So Japan suffered from the big earthquake and typhoons, but not only Japan, but also the other countries faced other big disasters. So how to use technologies for the disasters. And after COVID-19, the several countries are trying to create and establish smart cities in their countries. For example, other part of the ASEAN countries as well as the European countries as well. And in the future, we mentioned about the importance of the AI government. And we defined the AI government and maybe should be the fifth digital government. And singularity will come soon, and almost in 2035, and how to prepare for the digital government or each government and towards the singularities and sustainable transformation and utilizing the robotics and AIs and so on. And the next slide is towards the fifth generation of digital government and the progress of the digital government by the technologies. So in the future, almost in the 2030s, and maybe in the fifth generation will come. So how to use the generative AIs and post 5G or 6G and singularity, sustainable and transformation Edge AI. And maybe these are and will be the key and for the fifth generation digital government. And next slide is a historical trend from 2005 to 2025. And the progress is being made in improving the operational efficiency and through AI adoption by the major governments. And cyber attacks and intensifying at a faster pace than expected and rising the priority of cybersecurity measures among the governments. Country and specific surveys and reveal the digital divide is clearly reflected in both technology and human resources. And concerns have emerged as the progress toward UN SDGs and 2030 goals is significantly behind schedules and promoting the governments to begin reconsidering achievement targets. And DX is increasingly recognized as necessary and in advancing across the diverse and the public and the private sectors. And sustainability transformation is attracting strong attention from the major governments and becoming a crucial element in the project and initiatives. And implementation of AI is serving as a catalyst for the governments to launch full-scale initiatives to develop and advance on digital talent. And with aging societies, the silver shift, elderly shift is beginning in the field of digital government, particularly in Japan, China, and Korea. So now we create the network among Japan, China, and Korea as well. And the spread of social network services is fostering as emerging self-citizen and centered digital society. So this is a historical trend. So next slide is on CIO has 5 functions. So ISC discussed about the definition of chief information officers many times. And so CIO creates an integration, intelligence, innovation, information, investment. And maybe Dr. Pompom maybe I will explain about the new competencies for the CIOs. And also we need to think about the CAIO as well. And maybe in the future, the CIO need to try or focus on the investment and innovation as well. And finally, this is the foresight agenda for the future digital government in 2030s. So digital government shifted to the AI government, we think. So therefore, in the ISC, through the ISC, we like to discuss the very important topic like this that we'd like to discuss on these issues. And first, research on the creating the fifth generation of digital government with AI and 5G scheme. And the second is the research on the smart and digital government friendly for the aging societies. And third, and the continuity of the capacity building, human resource development program among universities on the CIO and digital government. And first, and AI and blockchain for the digital government through SDGs visions. And 5, innovative AI approach and against the big disasters. 6, and mobile government and in the 5G and 6G eras. And 7, and to create an IPR strategies and generative AI. Yeah, that's so. Therefore, and I would like to show you the totally seven posted agendas for all of you. So, if possible, at the next time, then we'd like to discuss on the very important topic for us. And just I came back from the OECD, and because and we discussed on the future and agenda. So we reported to our digital government ranking to the OECD as well. And ISC, not only ISC, but also United Nations or OECD and APEC, and very important and international and organization discuss about this and issues and for the future. So I hope this conference will be successfully finished. So thank you very much, Professor J.P. Alfred, and we thank you for inviting me to this wonderful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Iwasaki. Is there perhaps one or two questions for Professor Iwasaki? I'll go ahead and ask one. How would you like to see the Waseda Digital Government Rankings, or what plans do you have for it, for enhancements for the next year or two? Or what new topics are you thinking of?
Yes, unfortunately, I couldn't attend this conference, but so technology issues is very important, I think. Technology means AI or quantum computing, and I think, and also the network infrastructures, not only the 5G, but also the post 5Gs, but a little bit an early topic for the digital government ranking, because we focused on the 66 countries totally, and I mentioned about the digital divide and the top countries and the bottom and the middle and the bottom countries. So therefore, how to utilize or how to add or adjust the new benchmarks. And I'd like to discuss on these issues.
So thank you very much for your wonderful presentation.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.